Holy smokes, guys. Part 3 is out and it is a doozy. If part 1 and 2 were hard for you to watch, part 3 is going to be even more difficult because the level of corruption, deception, and just downright lies is disgusting. And we've got some new supervillains, folks. There are 2 new supervillains. The first supervillain is a detective named Melina. And she just wanted to get into this case. She saw the corruption that was going on and she said, why don't I sprinkle some more corruption on you? Why don't I add a little more? Why don't I add some more lies and make people hate me? The second supervillain is Google. Google then works with that detective to subpoena Reckless Ben and steal all his private information, his text messages, videos, everything. Unbelievable what is going on. It starts off with the state of Utah claiming that they can't accept Ben's evidence because he has a YouTube channel. So because he has a YouTube channel and he can potentially profit off this, they can't accept any of the body cam or the audio or any evidence that would help Ben because he could make money off it. I don't know what type of reasoning is that. I don't know how that's viable in court, that you can say, oh, because somebody has a YouTube channel, we can't accept evidence. What are we doing here, guys? Are we trying to pursue justice? Are you trying to do the right thing? Is this law and order? I think it is. So do your job and shut up. So the judge puts this gag order on Reckless Ben, and then he asks Ben, do you have any objections? And Ben tries to submit his evidence. He said, yeah, I got all this footage, everything. No, the judge says, I don't care. Gag order. Let's go. So interpret that how you will. Seems corrupt to me. We then have new footage of Aman, the little sniveling coward that he is. We have footage of him running to the back of a store and calling the police, claiming that Reckless Ben wants to kill him and that he's trying to extort him. This was the same time that Ben went there and asked for the Legos politely. He went to Bricks Minifigs. He said, hey, let's do this the easy way. Give me the Legos back. It's all good. The new footage shows immediately after he left. Very nicely, we saw Ben left in a very cordial way. We have Aman running to the back of the store. Police! He's trying to kill me. He's trying to extort me. All made up, all fabricated, just total deception. We also have footage of Aman saying that Ben wants to burn the place down and that everybody's going to die. So I don't know how the police can see all this footage and continually support this man who they know is fabricating and making up stories. Says a lot about the police force. It makes you not trust institutions. And in this footage, we see Aman claiming that there are no Legos. There was no Legos when we took over the store. However, we see the footage of when the previous owner, Crystal, was being kicked out. And we see her telling Brandon Best, hey, we still have all these Legos on consignment. Brian Manziel has not been paid out yet. Make sure you pay him out. And Brandon Best says, don't worry about it. We're going to take over the consignment. We have that footage. You've all seen it. We also have the U-Haul situation. They already lied about the U-Haul. They say Brandon showed up in a rental car. However, there's pictures of Brandon showing up in a huge U-Haul. They came to the store to take those Legos, to steal those Legos, I should say. So after accumulating all this evidence, Ben went to the police in an attempt to charge Aman with an obstruction of justice, which is totally in the right. He is hiding evidence. He's lying about the situation. He is preventing the police from doing their jobs. And when he submits this evidence, the police are actually really nice about it. And they're helping him. They say, okay, we're going to check it all out. We're going to investigate. 3 months goes by. Crickets. Nothing. So Ben says, you know what? Screw this. And he goes to the police station. And he finds out when that particular police officer was going to work at 3 p.m. And he arrives there at like 2:50. He's ready to talk to him. What's going on with the case? The secretary starts running interference. And she says, oh, he might have called in sick. There's nobody available. So you got the whole damn station all the way down to the secretary. Hell, even the janitor might be in on this. The level of corruption runs deep, folks, real deep. So after all this, Ben finally gets a letter, and the letter says, we're not reviewing your evidence. We're not going forward with your case. We're actually going forward with Amon's case, Bricks and Minifigs, which has zero evidence. He submitted nothing. There's no audio. There's no body cam footage. There's nothing incriminating that he submitted, and yet the police go forward with his case. Why? Because that's when the new supervillain comes in. Her name is Medina Dore. Officer Medina Dore is an award-winning police officer and former victim advocate for the Provo Police Department in Utah. She was recognized as the Provo City Employee of the Month for 2025 for exemplary service, empathy, and willingness to step in. Nope. You guys are going to see in part 3, this woman is completely corrupt. She's totally biased, and she's willing to sacrifice justice and what's right to help her little friend Aman. I don't know what Medina and Aman have going on, but I would investigate that relationship because this is really weird for a detective to behave this way. She is so corrupt, guys, that she actually tells Aman, she says, hey, I can't help you with your charge. You want to charge reckless with extortion? I can't help you with that because you don't have evidence. This is the new supervillain detective. She says you don't have any evidence. However, we can come up with some other charges that could put Reckless Ben in jail for 15 years, potentially 15 years on some other trumped up charges. And she walks him through. She asks him questions like, did he leave when you told him to leave, or did you have to ask him multiple times? She's literally walking through a potential suspect on how to get out of a charge and how to help him charge somebody else. This is like next level despicable behavior. Like, guys, after all is said and done, I hope these people are rotting in jail, or at the very least, I hope they're all unemployed because they don't deserve any money from the taxpayers. I cannot believe that they're collecting tax dollars. It's their job. They have a duty to protect and serve, and they're stealing tax dollars, they're running interference, and they're helping criminals. There should be a whole RICO investigation against the whole police force. And then so after all this, after Aman starts working with this new detective, he then goes on the apology tour. He goes on Fox News, and he starts telling everybody that he's been trying to give the Legos back. He's been trying to give the inventory list to Brian Menzel, and that he really believes in integrity. And he really believes in doing what's right. I'm not joking you. He is trying to spin and skew the narrative. He's trying to manipulate us. He thinks the public is stupid. And unfortunately, he's been allowed to go on this long because he has help from very powerful institutions like police forces. And they should all be ashamed of themselves, and they should all be fired. I'm going to keep reiterating that because this is disgusting behavior, and it's not good for countries because it makes people not trust their police and not trust institutions because it shows you how easily power can be corrupted. And so while he's talking about how he's just trying to do the right thing, he also says, you know, Ben is a paper tiger and Ben is a keyboard warrior who wants to break him. Ben wants to harass him until he breaks, but he's not going to back down. No joke. Aman has somehow framed this in his own mind that he's the victim. Either he's a sociopath or he's just very good at playing victim. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he is a horrible person and he's a manipulator. He should not be allowed to go on like this. I just want to go back to the new supervillain, Medina Dore, because she constantly refers to Ben as a fool. This is an award-winning detective constantly calling Ben a fool and saying how much she wants to take him down and how she wonders how he makes any YouTube money. Like, what's going on? Your job is to be objective. Your job is to find the truth and provide justice, and you are incredibly biased. And at one point, Medina actually says, fingers crossed. She says this, fingers crossed. I hope we can get Reckless Ben. I hope we can help you. they then just keep trying to come up with fabricated charges. They show video of Aman at his house saying, "This is where Reckless Ben attempted to shoot me." And after the police investigate, they're like, you know what, man? It was probably just some construction going off. Even the police were like, it was probably construction. But how are you allowing this guy to make this all up to a point where he's making up fake assassination attempts? This is lunacy. And you guys are all complicit. And at the very end of part 3, we see the Utah prosecutor tell Ben, "Do you want to just take a plea deal?" And Ben says, "Did you look at any of my evidence?" And the prosecutor says, "No, I didn't look at any of the evidence." And then he asks Ben, "Did you record these videos outside of the storefront or outside of the headquarters?" And Ben said, "No, we started in the elevator." And he says, "Well, you know, that could make your information not credible." So this is the prosecutor of Utah telling Ben, "Do you want to take a plea deal? We can't accept your evidence because you started recording in an elevator." I don't know what to say. Part 1 and 2 made me extremely angry. Part 3 made my blood boil. Like, it's hard to even make this video because it just shows you how much injustice there is and how much corruption there is. And it's just hard to watch. It's hard to stomach. It's going to be out soon. You guys are going to see it. Get ready. Have some beer. Have something. Have some substances ready because it is aggravating. It is infuriating. This is not right. Let's keep the pressure on them, guys.